Okay, this is a reading of a verse 61 out of a 2013 edition of the Quran. O you who believe, do not take my enemies and yours as friends, offering them your love, because they have rejected the truth that has come to you, and have driven out the messenger and yourselves, because you believe in God, your Lord. And because you have come out to strive in my way and to seek my favor, thus do not hold secret conversations and of ties and friendships with them. For I know all that you conceal and all that you reveal. And any of you who does this has strayed from the straight path. Um, I just want to ask you a quick question. Is this God speaking in this passage? My question to you is this passage, basically a straight quote from Allah? Okay? And we'll get back to that. So we're going to go down and we're going to take a look at a lesson from the Bible real quick. Okay, this is out of the Bible, and this is Matthew 5:44. And this is Jesus speaking. But I say unto you, love your enemies, bless them that curse you, do good to them that hate you, and pray for those who persecute you. And what I want to do is I want to ask you, do you believe that this is a corrupted verse? Okay, let's go back up to this and have another look. See, is this from God's mouth or is this from Muhammad's mouth? And you have to answer that question first. Okay? So I'm assuming you've answered that question. Now, if this is from Muhammad's mouth, okay, it says, oh, you who believe, do not take my enemies and yours as friends. So basically, Muhammad is saying, people that are mean to me, don't take them as friends. Okay. But that would be weird, because if it was Muhammad speaking, he certainly wouldn't come down here and say, and have driven out the messenger and yourselves. I mean, wouldn't that be a little goofy if Muhammad had said this? Because everybody knows that Muhammad is the messenger. Okay? And then he comes down here, and if Muhammad was saying this, he's saying, because you have come out to strive in my way. Well, then that's his personal way, whatever his personal preferences are, Muhammad's. And that would seem kind of weird that he would want you, fighting for him or striving. Yeah, striving, not fighting. There's other verses that say fighting, but we'll go with strive. And then seek his favor. So there's no way that this could be, Muhammad speaking, seek my favor, because he's a messenger of Allah. Okay, so let's go back up here and start again. This would have to be coming from Allah. So God says, oh, you who believe, okay, do not take my enemies and yours as friends, offering them your love. Okay? Because they have rejected the truth that has come to you. See, it's making more sense that this is from God in the Quran. Okay, rejected the truth that has come to you and have driven out the messenger and yourselves. Okay, so see, that totally makes sense so far. And then it says, because you believe in God, your Lord. Okay, now this is where it gets a little goofy. This right here should not be Allah. It should not be God. It should be me. Okay, because you believe in me, your Lord. Okay, and because you have come out to strive in my way, and you have come out and you seek my favor. Okay, so let's go back over that one more time. And you have driven out the messenger in yourselves, because you believe in me, your Lord, and because you have come out to strive in my way and seek my favor. This sounds like something out of the mouth of Allah or out of the mouth of God. Okay? What's unfortunate for this particular verse is I've actually gone to a website that has, oh, it's not going to give it to me. Oh, it's not going to give it to me. It just blanked out. It must not be time. Oh dear, look at that. It must not be time for me to reveal this. Oh, no, here we go. Oh, okay. What we have here is all the different versions of the Quran. And this is not all of them, but these are all um, the same verse out of all these different books. Here's one that was made in 1985. Here's one in 1938. And you can read through this and see that the meaning has not changed since 1938. But anyway, you see all these different versions here. We'll stop. I don't want to make you sick. Okay. So let's just stop at this one. Oh, you who believe, do not take my enemies and your enemies as friends. Okay. So it reads the same, but here's the problem. Right here. Okay. They expelled the prophet and you, for you believe in God, your Lord. Okay. This area right here, it either says God or it says Allah. Okay, because here we go, right down below here. Because you have Iman and Allah, your Lord. Okay, this should be driving out the messenger and yourself, simply because you have Iman in me, your Lord. I'm not sure what the word Iman is. I'm sure that's faith or prayer or something like that. Let's go down a little farther here. Here, this one reads a little clearer. Because you have faith in Allah, your Lord. It should be expelling the apostle and you, because you have faith in me, your Lord. If you have set out for jihad in my way and seek my pleasure. Okay, so every single verse, I've checked every single one. Every single one says either Allah or God or God my Lord. And I'll even cut and paste this. You can see it. It's on the screen right now. IslamAwakened.com. Just go to 61, verse 61. We'll go back up in here. You know what? Let's go to the very top one right here, because it says literal word by word. This would probably be one of the latest versions out there. Although the one that I read from 2013 is pretty. That's pretty a new version also. Yeah, look at that. It says, driving out the messenger yourselves because you believe in Allah, your Lord. And if you come forth to strive in, if it said, come forth to strive in Allah's way or God's way, then we could say this came out of Muhammad's mouth, but it doesn't. This is written very personal. This is very personal. This is between the mouth of Allah and you. Unfortunately, we have this little hiccup here right in the middle of the text. And let's go back and take a look at this again. This is out of the Bible, Matthew 5:44. But I say unto you, this is out of the mouth of God. But I say unto you, love your enemies, bless them that curse you, do good to them that hate you, and pray for those who persecute you. Now, that's a tough lesson to swallow, okay? I don't care who you are. That's an extremely difficult lesson to swallow. And that's what makes it godly. This is something that's virtually impossible for any human to pull this off. So therefore, it's not of this world. It's not of this planet made out of, cars and metal and windows and guns and garbage. This comes straight out of the mouth of the Creator. And this is what He wants us to do with each other. This is how He wants us to deal with each other. And this is why I made this video to you, whoever will listen, whoever will look. Okay? Yeah, hey, I just wanted to add this. I came across this. This is a list of all the prophets in the Bible, and it's really cool. It's up here. It says Jesus alive.cc. I'll probably cut and paste this. I'll cut and paste this so that if you want to go over here and take a look at this. Anyway, it's got the prophets, and then it's got the words that they actually, well, look, they pop right up. So this is their revelations from God that are basically accredited to them. Okay, but here's a list of these prophets, and it just goes on forever. Well, here's a prophet to Ahab. So apparently this prophet doesn't even have a name. It's just someone that brought the word from Allah to Ahab. Oh, and here, a second time. He must not have got it the first time. But anyway, my point is we're going to go down here a little bit. Here's Simeon. Let's go up. Okay, that's the end of them. So I just thought this was really nuts. I thought I'd just pop this in there. Like I said, I will cut and paste the website just in case anybody's interested to go in here and poke around through here, because I can tell that I'm going to spend a little bit of time here because this is kind of a cool setup. Hey, I have a question for all Muslims out there. I would like you to go through this verse with me and tell me if this is has been corrupted. This is in the Bible. It's actually in the Old Testament. Ye shall walk after the Lord your God and fear him and keep his commandments and obey his voice and ye shall serve him and cleave unto him. All right, the reason why I'm asking you this is because I am going to show you a really good reason why a Christian cannot convert to Islam. And that's coming up right now. Okay, so we're going to go over to the Quran. We're going to open that up and kind of come down here, have a look at this. And what we have here is listed over and over again, several times. It's 8 times. You need to fear Allah, or fear God, and you need to obey Muhammad. There's no way that a Christian is ever going to swear any type of obedience or allegiance to a prophet or a man or anything else. Christians are directly obedient to God, and here it's stated over and over and over again. Well, like above here, you need to establish regular prayer, give regular charity, and obey Muhammad, and then you receive mercy. So through obedience of Muhammad, you receive mercy. We will not submit ourselves to a prophet. We submit ourselves only to God. And through doing so, we receive our mercy. And up here again, see, obey Allah, but you also need to obey Muhammad. I just wanted to point that out. Okay, so let's get started here. We're going to type in the term obey. Okay, see what comes up. Let's start here. Obey Allah and his messenger. Who? Muhammad. Okay, obey Allah and Muhammad. Okay, let's go down a little bit further. Here's another one. Obey Allah and the messenger. Who? Muhammad. Okay, let's go look at another verse. Here we go. Those are limits set by Allah. Those who obey Allah and his messenger, okay, his messenger is Muhammad. You have to be obedient to Allah and who? Muhammad. Okay, will be admitted to the gardens with rivers flowing beneath. Okay, now this is a description of heaven. And this will be the supreme achievement. But the only way that you can do this, okay, is if you obey who? Muhammad. Oh, and Allah. Okay, let's go down a little bit further here. Well, let's just cut to the chase. Here's a verse. Fear Allah and who? Obey who? Muhammad. Here's another verse. Fear Allah and obey Muhammad. Another verse. Is it just like reading them one after the other? Look, fear Allah and obey Muhammad. Obey Muhammad. Let's go to 4 here, just in case you haven't had enough. Obey Muhammad. Obey Muhammad. Obey Muhammad. This is in regards to the spoils of war, okay? And they ask thee concerning things taken as spoils of war, okay? And such spoils are at the disposal of Allah. Oh, and who? Muhammad. Okay, so if you're in a war and you happen to take things from somebody that you've killed, these items are the property of the messenger. These items are the property of your Muhammad. Okay? All right, so here we go. If we had so willed, so if we had cared, we could certainly have brought every soul its true guidance. Okay? So if we had cared, we could have brought every soul its true guidance. But the word for me will come true. I will fill hell with jinns and men altogether. Okay? So this is the word. And from me. It's not saying Allah. This is me. This is I. This is an intentional statement. This is a personal statement. In fact, right above here, it says, I will fill hell with jinns and men altogether. Oh, and then down below here, again, 3 times. Knock on wood. I will certainly fill hell with thee and those who follow thee, everyone. Okay? Usually through the Quran, it says, Allah says, fear Allah. It's more like hearsay. But these 3 statements here are very personal and very direct. Okay, so here we are, the King James Version. We're going to search for obey and find out what the Bible does with the word obey. All right off the bat here, Genesis 22:18, and in thy seed shall all the nations of the earth be blessed, because thou hast obeyed my voice. This is not Moses' voice or any of the prophets. This is the voice of God. Okay? So it's obedience to God's voice right off the bat in the Bible. Let's go down one. Because that Abraham obeyed my voice and kept my charge, my commandments, my statutes, and my laws. Again, this is obedience to God's voice. Obey God. Okay? It also talks about the commandments, the 10 commandments. Not the 5, not the 8, not the 12. The 10 commandments. Okay? Go down here a little bit further. Right here. Pharaoh. Let's talk about that. And Pharaoh said, who is this Lord that I should obey his voice and let Israel go? I know not the Lord, neither will I let Israel go. This is a non-believer, but yet he's talking about the voice of God. This is not the voice of Noah. This is not the voice of any other prophet in the Bible. This is the voice of God. And yet he's a non-believer, doesn't even know God, but he's responding to the voice of God. Now, therefore, if thee will obey my voice indeed, and keep my covenant, and thee shall be a particular treasure unto me above all people, for all the earth is mine. Okay? My covenant. This is the 10 commandments. This is the contract. God's contract with the people of earth. A blessing. If ye obey the commandments of the Lord your God, which I command you this day. You have to be obedient to the 10 commandments. The Word of God is not telling you to be obedient to a human or a prophet. He flat out is telling you you need to be obedient to the 10 Commandments. Okay? And then you get a blessing. Okay? And then right below it, you get a curse if you do not obey the commandments of the Lord your God. Okay? Now, let's have a look at this. Because again, we're talking about obedience. We're talking about the 10 Commandments. So if you're in a position right now where you just feel that you might be under some kind of a curse, you probably are. And if you're not being obedient to the 10 Commandments, well, that needs to be changed, because this was written thousands of years ago. Okay? Look at this. Ye shall walk after the Lord your God and fear him and keep his commandments and obey his voice. This is absolutely critical here. Okay? And ye shall serve him and cleave to him, cling to him. This is what I was looking for. This is the golden BB right here. Okay? Look it. You are to fear God, and you are to keep his commandments, and you're to obey his voice only. His voice only. Okay? This is a real big deal here. Because we could go back to the Quran, and any time it says fear God, and then it says obey Muhammad. It says fear God, fear Allah, obey Muhammad. And so I just want you to look at this and understand that, this was written thousands and thousands of years ago. This is on the Dead Sea Scrolls. This is really old stuff. Old stuff. And here we got it. You fear God. You keep his 10 commandments, and you obey his voice. Okay? If Muhammad wrote the Bible, okay, we have some verses from the Bible, and these are really important verses when it comes to, well, let's just read and see. When you are in tribulation, and all things come upon you in the later days, which means when everything is falling apart, okay, it says you will return to the Lord your God and obey his voice. And Muhammad. Okay? And understand that this is just a test. I'm not rewriting the Bible or anything. I'm just showing you what it would look like if Muhammad had written the Bible. Okay? Let's go to the next one. Like the nations that the Lord makes to perish before you. Okay? Now, and this is in reference to nations that have risen and fallen. More like fallen. Okay? And so shall you perish, because you would not obey the voice of the Lord your God. And Muhammad. Okay? Let's go to the next one. You shall walk after the Lord your God and fear him and keep his commandments and obey his voice and Muhammad's, and you shall serve him and hold fast to him. Okay? Let's go to the next one. And in your offspring shall all the nations of the earth be blessed, because you have obeyed my voice and Muhammad's. Now, obviously, this is not the way that the Bible has been written. But my point is if Muhammad would have been the author of the Bible, his name would have been inserted in several different verses.